Hello, cosplay world. This is Nice Rant number 12. This is like my 7th try doing this because the world hates me. I've had everything from people knocking on my door to people at the door back here. There's a door to the apartment complex over here. To cars going beeping to me running along. Oh my lord. And stumbling and stuttering and all those good things. So I know this rant. I've done it several times today. It could also be why I'm late with this video. I usually get it up by 11 or something like that. Anyway, okay, I gotta hurry through this, all this stuff. This is PVC pipe today. We have ½ inch, we have inch. I'd like to put pipe inside of each other. If I have, say, a gun barrel that needs to be hidden for convention height and length rules, and I'll hide it inside the prop. And say there's a screw here. I can extend it out, only 6 inches in this case. About that far. Awesome. I got 6 inches extension. Of course, you can always cut that deeper. And this would be what's the bulk of the gun, and this wouldn't show. I wouldn't let it show. Extend it out. Woo! Awesome. You can do a similar trick with the ½ inch and oops. Sorry, kitty. The ½ inch and the inch and a. Sorry, this is inch and this is 1.5 inches. And they fit real snug together. I use these for attaching big pieces together. I don't know why I put it down. I'll attach this piece of pipe to one bit, this piece of pipe to one bit, and this piece of pipe to another bit, and then slide them together, drill a hole, put a pin in there so that they stay in place and do not rotate. Awesome. And it, goes back and forth. That's one trick. Okay. Now, PVC is what I use because wood, its grain runs along the shaft. And it's kind of the only way they can do it. The only way they can cut wood in that way, otherwise it would snap with it against the grain. But this means that if you put a screw in there, screws work by having pressure holding them in, but they also at the same time put pressure outwards when they're in place, equal and opposite forces and such. Anyway, the problem with this is if you have another piece of material and it's under stress and it's wiggling or it's waggling, you can snap that wood. Additionally, if you're not very good at drilling pilot holes, you can snap the wood. Or if, say, the screw's too big, snap the wood. And I got tired of that. So I stuck with PVC pipe. It's also thermoformable. As you can see, I bent it. Yes, I bent it. And I can bend this to any angle I like. Any one. Doesn't matter. I can make it completely flat to this other piece here. It can totally be done. With regular pipe fittings and fixtures, you kind of are stuck with 90-degree angles, pretty much. They have some which are offshoots that are 135-degree angles, but I like these because I like doing this because these fittings will nickel and dime you at the end of the project. Each one of these joints, you don't want to pay $20, $30, $1 joint to put your costume or your prop together. No, just heat it up and bend it. Now, I've heated and bent this thing up several times. And as you can see, it's gotten damaged. It's all cracked right there in the corner. It's because when you bend it, the inside is under more stress than the outside, and therefore it stretches and pulls. And the more you heat it up, the more it tends to reform into its natural state and pull apart. So, you want to do this right the first time, every time, to get the best result, strongest bend. I assure you, when I first did this, that it was nice and smooth and looked pretty. The more I did it, the worse off it got. And, let's see, another way. This is a sharp bend. You can do graduated curves, nice smooth curves. But what you do with that, to get that, is you take your pipe and you cap off one end, you fill it with sand, you cap off the other end, and you heat it up. You heat it up uniformly, evenly. This may be a job for a heating element. I mean, a stove. You know what a heat. You probably don't know what a heating element is. It's something that gets hot. Anyway, and get it uniformly warm, and you'll get a nice curve. It doesn't do really sharp curves like this. It, in fact, it probably doesn't do a circle pretty well. It just does curves. That's because the sand is in there keeping it from collapsing. Awesome. That's two kinds of curves. I'm not going to show you the sand one because I don't want to get sand all over the chair. And I'd probably have to do it a zillion times every video because all the stuff keeps interrupting me. Awesome. I'm going to be picking up my 1/2 inch, and that's most common to use. Oh, yes. I did mention that when you're bending the pipe, the thicker stuff takes more energy, more time to heat up, and because it's thicker, it puts more stress on the outside, so the thicker stuff, it won't take as easily to bending in this way as the thinner stuff. I have two different thicknesses here. This is the standard kind, this is a thinner kind. This is cheaper, easier to work with. This is stronger, and I'll pay the extra 10 cents. It's like $1 for 5 feet of the stuff. 89 cents. From the last I've seen this stuff. Who knows? Prices change. And who knows how long this video is going to be up. Anyway, how do I join these together? I just use your simple connection bit. People have a problem with this connection bit. They say, hey, that's not pretty. That's not what I want my staff or my scythe or whatever weapon I'm holding, spear. I don't want that showing up. That looks ugly. Well, if you don't want it showing up and you have a picture to take, that simple tip. Cover it up with your hand. It's as easy as that. If you have a prop that's too long and you have the ability, try to place this piece where you naturally hold it. Okay? That way you can break it apart for when you need to walk around the convention, or whenever you don't want to be harassed by the convention officials. And then whenever a picture comes along, pop it together. There you go. No one can you tell? Can you tell there's a pipe? No, there could be anything under there. Who knows? Yeah. Simple solution. If, say that's not strong enough and you're worried about it wiggling and waggling apart as you're walking or something, and you want it to come apart, you don't want to be permanently screwed in place, I use the threaded ones like this. They come apart, they come back together. There you go. That's how I solve that problem. Usually I use them on the internal bits, things you wouldn't normally see, but for necks and things like that, it's usually not a problem. You also have these. This is you can go next to the pipes and see electrical work. This is cool because it's like what is it? A project box. Project box is where you hide your electronics and things, and wiring and whatnot inside. But you can attach to the PVC pipe, and you can hide all your wiring in the pipe. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Open this up. Do whatever wiring you need to do. Hide your batteries. Whatever. They come in different sizes. Do that. That's a tip. Okay, let's see. I've covered melting, heating, screws. Yeah, whenever I put a fixture on here, I use anywhere from 1 to 3 screws, depending on what's going on. I also use IPS 2007. IPS 2007. It works better than the glue you see in the plumber's department. We are not using it for its intended purposes. Intended purposes are to seal the water inside. We are going to be putting these joints under stress and strain, and if you just use that glue, it could wiggle out. Yes, it could. That's why I put screws and I put glue on it. I usually stick with screws. Screws get the job done most of the time. Yeah, and I like to screw in one side and then have it kind of just barely nudging out the other end. That way it's a little bit stronger. And I use less screws that way because it's making that bond inside where they meet. Okay. What else? I think that's the basics. I can't remember. I've done this so many times. I'm doing this all in order. I've not said the same kind of order of rant every, not once. If I said something. Okay, so I'm going to show you what just screws and joint pieces can do. So you get the joint pieces. We just got some pipe with screw that we cut up, and we made a nice Gatling gun. People love this Gatling gun. We've got a bunch of these extra Gatling guns. We only painted up one, and that one, whenever we get to somebody, they always like it. And in fact, two of my friends use it, the picture of them with the gun, as profile pictures on Facebook. So that's got to be saying something. They gotta love that. Let's see. Here is internal structure with PVC pipe. Yes, hidden in here is PVC pipe. It runs from here all the way up to here. Single piece of pipe. Then we have another piece of pipe that I'd heated up and bent and formed around the central pipe, and then put screws in there. Put them in there, like 3 screws. And that supports these arm bits. Now, I'm thinking that I have to make one of these, another one for ASIN. And I really don't have time to do another kind of project separate from all of my other work. So why don't I just give you updates on what I do each day for this project, for the Let's Make Cosplay. What do you guys think of that? Here we have the acrylic. Here we have some friendly plastic sealing the acrylic. There's foam, there's coating, there's plaster of Paris, there's hot glue, there's painting, there's screws, there's PVC pipe. There's actually this is reinforced through with resin. This is resin core. This thing will not cut you, but it will beat the crap out of you. It is strong, and it's light, and it's easy to work with. Then I'd say wood. I don't have the tools to work with wood, so I don't typically work with wood. Yeah. So, would you like that? Would that be something you're all interested in? Tell me. Let me know. This has been Knives Rant number 12. Yes. If you liked it, you hated it, you think I did better, you think I'm crazy, you think you can do better, I should say, let me know. I want to know what you want to know, okay? Yes, I want to know what you want to know. I'll probably start saying that for these videos at the end. If you liked it, let me know. I'm not schizophrenic and people are actually watching this. Hit buttons and things so I know what's going on. There's 20 buttons. I barely know how to use YouTube. I'm trapped. Anyway. Thanks for watching. This has been Knives Rant number 12. Good times to all.